Look at that. I'm back, and this is not fixed. Look at that. What's going on? I can't work under these conditions. I can't tolerate this kind of nonsense. Hey, it's Dixon inviting Talk 99.5, talk995.com.
Numerous emails have been sent, Richard. Numerous
emails.
Yes.
You sent a strongly worded letter, did you?
I can
Alrighty.
do what I can do.
Yeah, I understand.
So, just keep
hopefully.
your fingers off that wire.
I will do my
You can move
best,
the mic,
but I
just
didn't,
don't touch the wire.
Well, I didn't touch it at all, and it still came up crackly. I don't understand. It was my powerful presence, I guess.
Is that what it is?
My electric
Welcome back.
presence.
Welcome back, sir.
Hi. Everybody, nice to be here. Nice to be anywhere. You know how it is. We got lots to talk about today, lots to talk about for days to come. I haven't said it yet, so I'll get it out of the way real quick. Congratulations to Steve and company for the Abby for Best Podcast.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Probably one of the hardest ones to get because there are a bajillion podcasts. Are there not?
Yeah.
There's only so many talk radio shows in the state of Alabama. And there's only so many morning shows in the state of Alabama, and only so many news departments in the state of Alabama. There are 5,916 podcasts in the state of Alabama. So for Steve and company who have won that is a really big deal.
Yeah, it is.
Congratulations.
Guys.
That and $4 will get you a small coffee at Starbucks.
Maybe.
Just in case. Yeah.
Might be a down payment on a coffee.
We know because we won one a few years ago, and it did absolutely nothing for our standing whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Other than,
Sad
it's
but true.
back down the hall.
It
in
is, yeah.
In a cabinet
It was
somewhere.
immediately taken away from us.
Uh-huh. That's mine.
It was like a
we paid for this.
like
it's
a
ours.
Chinese girl baby. Just, sorry, you don't need that anymore. We'll take that away. Like, what?
Well, and the funny thing is that the fact that they got the station wrong on the first one, so they had to get
another
one that had the proper station on.
That is true. That is true.
We got to get the.
Talk about the ultimate in humbling.
Did they take yours away, or do you still have it?
It was on the GM's desk yesterday, but I was able to ask if Matt could take it and show it off in East Alabama.
There you go. Very nice.
But eventually, James will take possession of it, and it'll be in the trophy
The
case.
people in East Alabama will love it. They're very impressed. They're impressed by anything. They marry their own cousins over there, so that's kind of a big
now.
deal.
Wow.
Hey, hey, watch it.
Picking on different parts of the state.
I see.
It's the same state, but we're picking on that part over there.
Listen,
for a change.
we need outsiders to hear that so they stay out.
That's right.
Stay out.
Exactly. Stay away. Nobody wants you. Alabama Tree Pros, 308-4158. Bring you portions of today's show when you need a tree taken down, either because it is a threat or it's just in the way. You know, this happens sometimes. I know it's hard to believe, but there are people who call and they go, this thing's blocking my view. I would have a great view if it wasn't for this tree. Can you take this down? Yeah, they can take that down too, you know. This is not like Europe. Did you know in Europe they make you, like, fill out a bunch of paperwork and get approval from the state to take down trees? And by the state, I mean the country. It's very weird. Here in the United States of America, these trees are yours. You can do with them as you please. You're a grand old flag. You're a high flag. Sorry. They'll just show up and take that thing right down to the ground for you and grind up the stump if that's what you want, or trim it up, or tell you how to save it if it can be saved. Whatever it is you want, they'll make it happen. That's Alabama Tree Pros. Find them online, alabamatreepros.com, 308-4158. 308-4158. Talk to Eric. Tell them I sent you. They love to hear that. Let's do this.
And now, it's Dixon and Vining's top 3 things you need to know.
Well, I don't want to brag or anything, but I did mention this idea last week when I said, we could close the Strait of Hormuz. We have that ability.
We have the power.
We could just shut that sucker down. And lo and behold, that is exactly what Donald Trump chose to do the other day. He said, let's close the strait ourselves. Iran really needs that oil moving through there. Their oil, other oil, whatever it may be. Iran desperately needs that oil to make a movement. And if we stop it from happening, lo and behold, chances are really good we can hurt them financially. And that is exactly what is going on. It didn't take but about 6 or 8 hours of closing the Strait of Hormuz before Iran said, hey, about those talks. Well, what do you say we get together and have some more of those?
Yeah, we certainly got their attention.
Yes.
Sometimes that's all it takes.
We did. We've got the
I thought taking out 15,000 targets was the one that would have gotten their attention.
You'd think that would do it.
But no, it's
but
this.
No, it actually takes, a little bit more involved. You had to actually shut the Strait of Hormuz down to get them excited about talking to us. And so there will be more talks tomorrow. The problem is, it seems like once they get into a room with our negotiators, they suddenly get their butt on their shoulders, and they're all like, well, we want this, that, and the other thing. And J.D. Vance has to regularly tell them in his calm, pleasant way, you have no cards.
None.
You can't play. You have no cards. Here's how it works. We'll tell you what's going to happen. Well, we want this, that, and the other thing.
You can demand all day long, but it's not going to work that.
Not going to happen
that way.
And Bridge and Tunnel Day is just creeping closer and closer if you keep this up.
Mm-hmm.
And there are many, by the way, who are suggesting that Donald Trump go finish that job. But he says closing the strait might just be all it takes to apply the financial pressure that may actually lead to an upheaval there in the politics. We'll see. Speaking of J.D. Vance, he had to tell the Pope to stick to matters of morality and stay out of public policy. Look, I do not mean to cast any aspersions upon my Catholic friends, of which I have many, nor do I wish to cast aspersions upon the Catholic Church. But when you, as the Pope, watch Iran slaughter at least 30,000 of their own people, some estimates as high as 45,000, and you say nothing, you lose all high ground. You are not allowed to say anything about the United States, about our pressing war against Iran, about them trying to convince them that they don't need a nuclear weapon because it's a bad idea for the world's leading provider of terrorists to have a nuclear weapon. No. If you wanted to have some morality in this situation, you should have said something when Iran killed 30,000 of its own people. By the way, you didn't say anything when Nigeria killed a bunch of Christians on Easter either. So I'm sorry, Pope Leo, you've lost all respect in my eyes. I'm done with you.
Mm-hmm. I was glad to see that J.D. Vance actually called him out, because everybody likes to tiptoe around it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they don't really say much about it.
Yeah.
You know, and he's been critical of Donald Trump. He's been critical of this administration. He's been critical on things like immigration. And you're exactly right, not saying anything about the wholesale slaughter of many of their citizens in Iran. And then he has to be critical over the U.S. in this war. That is really not a good look at all.
Absolutely.
Stay in your lane, Pope, is pretty much what J.D. Vance just told him to do.
Exactly.
Stay in your lane.
You know what? Render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's, render unto God that which is God's, and you have no say in this business. You've lost all credibility. And I'm not saying that they picked the wrong guy to be Pope, but, Catholics tend to be leftists to begin with. Francis was.
Which is interesting.
Benedict was. I find
Based on their religion, you would think that they would be very conservative.
You'd think so.
Very strict conservatives.
Yeah, they're against birth control. They're against abortion. How is it possible that you're leaning left in every other way? It's weird to me.
It is. That part is odd.
Very weird to me. And this story from a couple of years ago, you might remember this, in 2024, Dr. Thomas Shagnovsky, what a name, killed 70-year-old William Bryan of Muscle Shoals. This Florida doctor was supposed to go in and remove his spleen, took his liver out instead. Oopsie. He took out the thing you really need to live, the liver. Get it? And the spleen you can live without. It does help in matters of disease and things of that nature, but for the most part, it's unnecessary. He was supposed to take the spleen out, missed the spleen. It was laparoscopic surgery, meaning he was going in through very tiny holes with microscopes and things like that, digital cameras, whatever. And he cut up the liver and he removed it. And then he told his staff, oh, by the way, it was just it was swollen because it was so infected. And they're like, this is a liver. This is not a spleen. And he goes, label it as a spleen. Just do me a favor here. And, of course, the patient died. So now he has been charged. Thank God.
Yeah, apparently not the first screw-up either.
No.
Not the first major screw-up. This doctor took his license away, actually put him in jail. This man has no business practicing anything.
He did have his license revoked almost immediately after that took place. His 21-page suspension order in 2024 accused the physician of repeated egregious surgical errors and egregious conduct of fabricating medical records. Wow.
Yeah, this 70-year-old man, William Bryan of Muscle Shoals, who was down in the Panhandle, who had to have this emergency surgery, should still be alive today.
Mm-hmm.
You just wonder how in the world this man became a doctor. who gave him this license.
There's not
because he's pretty bad.
not enough malpractice insurance in the world to cover this guy's
nope.
widow when you get right down to it.
Nope.
I mean, holy moly.
So sad.
Oof.
It really is.
Well, all right. He gets to go be a doctor in prison now. That'll be fun. 616 with Dixon and Vining, Denson and Fuller, my insurance agents. You know, we finally found out what Super Sure is. Did you hear that?
Super sure.
Super Sure.
Yeah.
Everybody's Super Sure. You know what Super Sure is? It's an insurance company that will compare all of your insurance with itself and see if you're overinsured or underinsured to make sure you have the right amount of insurance with the right people. Something Denson and Fuller have been doing for 35 years. They act like this is the newest, bestest thing. Newsflash for you. Denson and Fuller, local independent insurance agents, have been doing this forever. And all you need to do is call them at 414-1476, 414-1476, or find them online at densonandfuller.com, and they'll be happy to take great care of you. 617, Dixon and Vining. We'll get this show up and lumbering under its own weight momentarily. Sebastian Bach, now the lead singer of Twisted Sister, as Dee Snider steps away and says, I got other things I want to do with my life, and I have enough money. Thank you very much.
And probably can't hit those notes anymore.
Probably not. I'm not sure Sebastian Bach can either, but you know what?
He can probably do a better job than Dee does, though.
People are still going to go and watch them. People who are fans love them. 621 with Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, Talk995.com. You just heard the weekend forecast, Evan Chickfarah, telling you all about what's going on. In the days ahead, it looks like it's going to be very nice with 86 and 85 and 89 and 85 and every single day, aside from Sunday. We finally get some rain Saturday night.
Yeah, 40% chance. There it is.
Not enough.
We've not seen that number in a while.
This gives you a lot of time to go out, get on a boat from Rodney's Marine, take it out on Lake Logan Martin. They've got that low monthly payment, the in-house financing. They've got the Suzuki Power on the Silver Wave and Starcraft pontoons and Tritoons. You cannot beat a boat from Rodney's Marine because you get service after the sale. You get that 5 years of Suzuki Power warranty. It is unbelievable.
Yeah, Brooks was here yesterday, and I totally forgot about the party boat you can rent.
Oh, yeah.
It's got the slide on it.
Love the party
Yeah,
boat.
so if you want to rent that boat, they've got some other boats, too, that you can rent. Just a wonderful organization. Rodney and the gang there will take good care of you. 525-1500, call them. See if there's a boat that is available maybe this weekend that you would like to rent and get out on Lake Logan Martin and Cropwell. These guys are going to take care of you from the beginning of when you purchase that boat, kind of walk you through that, the Suzuki engines that are on the boat, and then for the life that you have the boat. Maybe at some point you want to up-power the Suzuki engine. Maybe you want a bigger boat. Maybe you want to add some accessories to it. All of those things, they'll take good care of you at Rodney's Marine. Go out and see them. Highway 231, Lake Logan Martin in Cropwell. Again, you're going to love everybody out there. They are top-notch. They've got a great valet service. You can inquire about that. Visit their website, rodneysmarine.com, and on Facebook, they have got all kinds of information there as well. And probably the best thing to do is just go see them. Rodney's Marine, again, Highway 231, Lake Logan Martin in Cropwell.
We have watched in real time how a political career was destroyed, crumbled, fell. Really, a man hoisted upon his own petard. I'm talking about Eric Swalwell, of course.
Yeah, a lot of this is his own doing.
Oh, no question about it. I mean, first
Bang,
off,
bang.
you get the whole, I didn't do it, this is all a lie, nope, never happened, don't know what you're talking about. Did that for about 2 days, and then it became, I would like to apologize for the errors I have made. I'm going to fight the accusations that are lies. Okay. What happened is the evidence began piling up in such a way that there was just no denying.
One person come forward, then a second, then a third, and now yesterday it was up to 5.
And here's the real difference, and people don't seem to understand this because I see this all over X. People are like, Donald Trump has 23 believable accusations against him from women. No, he does not. No, he does not. And here's why. The reason why none of those have been pursued legally is that in many cases, when those people tell you it happened on such and such a date, Donald Trump is a guy who's got a pretty busy calendar, keeps track of everything, and he's able to say, on that day, I was on the other side of the world, lady. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I mean, if you wonder why E. Jean Carroll could not give you the date or even the year that the supposed Bergdorf-Goodman attack took place, it's because she knew perfectly well that if she came up with the wrong date, he would have proof that he was elsewhere. So she couldn't give you a date. She couldn't even tell you what year it happened. In fact, she's not even sure it was Bergdorf-Goodman. It might have been Macy's. It might have been
Saks or something, or one of those other
Neiman Marcus. It could have been one of these. You're like, so you don't remember the place it's going. You don't remember the date it took place, and somehow a jury convicted this guy anyway. Come on, if that's not just pure hatred on the part of New Yorkers, I don't know what it is. The same was true, by the way, of the woman who accused Brett Kavanaugh. She couldn't come up with a date or a place either.
And because of those situations, some of these that are like, obviously, you're trying to bring charges that, A, you didn't go to the police to begin with when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
B, it must not have been that traumatic because you don't even remember the place and time. I think if something happened like that to any of us, I mean, something life-changing, you would remember where you were.
Oh, yeah.
What day it was,
Yep.
what time it was.
Mm-hmm.
You would probably remember what you were wearing that day.
I would think so, yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of details that would be forever in your mind because it was so traumatic. This woman could remember any of that. I just feel like, these people that come forward that can't prove any of it, maybe you ought to be held accountable for bringing up stories that may not necessarily be true. Maybe we work it that way.
Part of the problem with the supposed 23 credible accusations against Donald Trump, not only are they not credible, in many cases they have been disproven beyond a shadow of a doubt. We also have those accusations that were made that were then rescinded by, like, the 13-year-old girl who turns out she was on drugs, she was on meth, she made a whole bunch of stuff up. And wasn't able to prove any of it, had no evidence, had no witnesses, had nothing.
But at the same time, you
ruin
ruin the reputation of that person.
Yeah, that's true.
At the end of the day, here's the thing. You've got somebody that brought all of these false allegations, and people walk away going, well, he did this and he did that, and it never gets flipped the other way because you've already said it. It's already out there. It's hard to bring it back.
In the case of Swalwell, there actually is some video. There are some pictures. These women are able to come up with dates, and they can say, yes, it was at such and such event. One of them was, one of his staffers, which I look at her and go, so wait a minute, you were sexually assaulted in 2019 by this guy, and you kept working for him?
No, that would have been the end of it.
Yeah, I think I would have been gone right there. But I believed so much in what he was doing.
Yeah, but any time that anything like that happens.
And then you find out that in Congress, this is a big open secret. Everybody says, oh, yeah, you keep your young staffers away from Swalwell. He's, cad. He's one of these guys. He's
Nancy Pelosi and others say, well, I didn't know anything about that.
Right.
I don't know whether she did or she didn't, but it's hard to believe that people around him didn't know about that.
If Nancy Pelosi didn't know about it, she was just way too drunk.
She herself
Eating
was
too much ice cream.
No, Ruben Gallego is another one, supposedly his best friend, and he's like, I didn't know anything about this. Really, everybody else in Congress knew about this,
but
you didn't know about this.
You're his right hand man,
and there were members of the media who knew about it as well, and they didn't say anything. Why? Because Swalwell's their boy. We have said for quite some time now, we being conservatives, Eric Swalwell's a weasel. He's been a weasel for a long time. Fang Fang was only one part of the weaseldom. The rest of it was the whole believe all women nonsense. He kept throwing the Epstein files up as if there was a real thing in there. There's not. I don't know if you saw this or not. The new Attorney General said, we are making unredacted copies of the Epstein files available to all congressmen anytime. They just have to come to the SCIF and they can read it to their heart's content for as long as they want. I don't know how you can be more transparent than that.
Yeah, that's pretty transparent.
Swalwell loves to throw this stuff up as if it is something that actually counts for something. He is a ginormous weasel, and he's getting his comeuppance. But the one thing he's not going to do is admit to rape. He is going to defend himself vociferously against the rape charges. I think the affairs, he's like, yeah, okay.
And again, these women, if this happens to you, go to authorities.
Yeah.
If it, don't just say, oh, I'll deal with it down the road or something like that. If you've been sexually assaulted or raped, go to the authorities. Don't let this to continue because he's going to do it again.
Yeah, and don't get drunk around Eric Swalwell. Apparently, that's a problem
clear
there.
of him.
I don't know what he's slipping into people's drinks. Bill Cosby with the zing in the pill.
6:35. Good morning, Dixon and Vining at Talk 99.5, talk995.com, and now on YouTube. If you go to YouTube, go to Real Talk 995 TV, and you can check us out there as well. Dry weather, yes, still dry, but beautiful, low humidity. The rain will return at some point in time. Maybe we'll see a little bit of that this weekend, but it is certainly one of the best times you could reach out to Be Dry, because if you've got water issues around your home or cracking in the foundation, days like this is when Be Dry wants to get in there and make sure they encapsulate that crawl space. The cracking in the foundation can be resolved as well. Be Dry is so good at this. 65 years in the business. That means this company is very good at what they do. Any company that's been in business that long, you got to give it to them. They're doing something right, and that is they're getting in there and fixing homes all across central Alabama. So if you have that musty mildew smell in the basement, and you can even smell that sometimes on a dry day, but certainly when we get heavy rains, it's a real problem in some of these homes. So if it's your home that you're dealing with some of these issues, reach out to Be Dry. The strongest lifetime warranty in the business. They will offer you 12 months interest-free, no payments for 12 months. David Feven and the guys are happy to come out and take a look and just talk to you about what's going on at your home and give you that free quote. And then you can decide when you want this project to be fixed. 205-942-1976 is the number. Call the pros today at Be Dry, BeDryAlabama.com, or 942-1976.
6:37 with Dixon inviting, and got to mention that Tony Gonzalez is also out of the House. Congress is just full of weasels, isn't it? When you get right down to it, just full of weasels.
There's a lot there. Not all of them, but there's a lot.
Remember this, and this always seems to slip under the radar, I guess, because maybe the media doesn't make as big deal out of it as they should. But there's this slush fund of taxpayer dollars, yours and mine, that Congress uses to pay off people who are making sexual assault claims on them. Usually staffers, other people of that ilk, folks that are on the Hill for one reason or another. And they have this fund. It's taxpayer dollars. And they use it to pay these people to get them to sign NDAs and shut up, okay? Now, there was a vote 2 weeks ago on actually making the names of the people involved in that fund public. That's all it was. It was just going to be like, hey, the people who are engaging in this activity and used that fund, it could have been for a little, could have been for a lot, don't know. But we're going to make those names public. It was voted down overwhelmingly by Congress. Over 300 members voted against that bill, saying we don't think that those names should be made public. I mean, AOC, somebody who's always got the moral outrage when things like this happen, voted, no, let's not release those names. Like, what? What? You are all a bunch of weasels. Wouldn't you like to believe that your elected officials who are making your decisions for you about things where law is concerned, wouldn't you like to believe that they're better people than you, or at least as good as you?
Well, we would like to think that, but I think and maybe at our age we get a little, we've seen it enough times, we've been around the block enough times that we're like, yeah, I know why you want to be in that position. Mm-hmm. It's money, it's power, I know for some they think it's glamorous to be in that role. Mm-hmm. They're in it for all the wrong reasons. And I wish more and more people, if they wanted to get into those positions, understood that they're really representing the people. They're doing the work of the people and what the people in those communities, mm-hmm. in those states and cities want them to do. And it seems like more and more people get in it for the wrong reason. I
would agree with that. And yet we are the ones who vote them in. So we're kind of stupid, aren't we?
Well, and sometimes we don't know, that maybe they've never served in that capacity, and then they get in there, and it's like, oh, this is, I really, really like this.
It's like
and then you find
drug.
out, it is. It's kind of like, it's exactly right. And others, I think of the Gary Palmers of the world, mm-hmm.
who
literally want to do
mm-hmm.
what is right and what is necessary for the state of Alabama. I've been to D.C. I've seen what Gary has accomplished. If we can have about 100 Gary Palmers, we'd be in a lot better shape.
Congress made up of nerds and wonks. How
Yeah, but
exciting would that
you
be?
get it done. He's getting it done.
Yeah.
He's getting done why we voted for him and why he's in D.C.
Keeps his head down, doesn't
Yeah,
do a lot of
and-
media. When he does do media, he's boring as hell.
Well-
and it's not his fault. I mean, it's just, he's a policy wonk.
He's
And that's the
right.
kind of
He's
guy you
laser.
want.
He's laser focused on what he's doing. Everybody else, it seems like we're up there to have a good time in D.C. and you're
Yeah.
like, no, that's not why we sent you there.
Well, Gonzalez is a perfect example of this in that he was having an affair with a staffer. She then set herself on fire.
That was awful.
Wow.
Yeah.
Out of all the ways to go, that seems like a really bad one.
You know what that is? Hate to say it, that's an attention getter. You're
Well-
trying to get his attention, but the way you're getting his attention is you're going to end up dead.
Yes, of
So
course.
it's
I
the
mean,
wrong way to do that.
She
but
intended
that-
to be dead, I think. But
yeah.
in the long run, I think there's a mental illness there. And it
something's
may be the
going
same
on.
mental illness that led her to an affair with a congressman. I don't know. But I can tell you that obviously sane people don't set themselves on fire, okay? Sane people generally don't kill themselves, nonetheless. I'll give you a perfect example of a guy who got to Congress, seemed like he was just the kind of guy you wanted there. Just the kind of guy you wanted there. Hardcore, conservative, super values, laser focused like we're talking about. Dan Crenshaw. The one-eye guy, he
Yeah,
had the patch
yeah.
and everything, and he went on Saturday Night Live that one time because Pete made fun of him. Pete Davidson made fun of him. He really was kind of the cream of the crop. And then 6 years later, anytime somebody starts asking him about his investments and the money he's made while he's in Congress, he would file a cease and desist order against them. He would actually have, a C&D letter sent from his lawyer saying, stop talking about that. Stop talking about it on the air. Stop talking about it to me. Stop talking in general about this. And you go, whoa, hey.
Got something to hide there. Otherwise,
this-
you wouldn't need that letter.
This is not the public
Yeah,
service
that
we were kind of hoping we were going to have here. Now, when he got voted out, he just lost his Republican primary a few weeks ago. He said, well, I think people just bought a lot of the hype about me, my money and how I made a bunch of money. I didn't. I made $42,000 in the stock market. Okay, well, you should have said that rather than filing
doing
cease
this
and
because
desist
it
orders to
makes
begin with.
everybody suspicious about what you're doing.
But really, your biggest problem is you went against Donald Trump repeatedly in many, 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 many ways where the American people were on his side. And that was what really got you voted out. That's what it comes down to. So this happens. These guys, they go in with the best of intentions, and sometimes it's a matter of days before that heady drug of power hits them. And the next thing you know,
well,
they've forgotten all about you.
yeah, it's Nancy Pelosi. We've learned over all these years that it's about power and it's about money and the money that she's made in the stock market while being there. And then you're like, well, why won't she? Why doesn't she retire? What is she's at an age she should move on and just well, no, we see the reason why. She keeps making millions and millions.
Yeah,
That's what her job is about. It's not about serving the people.
She's done after this one, at
Yep.
least. She's
Yep.
not going to run again this year, which is fine. She's already.
And we've got to stop. We've got to put some measures in that this doesn't go on in D.C. anymore. We really do.
Not just the getting rich part, but the electing the dead repeatedly, I mean, we keep putting these ancient people up there and people who have done, once you're in and you start talking in Congress-ese, what am I trying to say here? It all becomes about cloture and the rules and Senate floor rules and how we can block this by doing that with this thing over here, and we'll use this procedure to stop that. And you're like,
why don't you work toward really passing some legislation and doing some things that
where are your
move us forward?
constituents in
Right.
all of this, Where are your constituents in all this? Congratulations. You learned the language of the Senate or the House, as the case may be. You learned all the little tricks of the trade. Mitch McConnell's a perfect example of this. He's a
Yes.
guy who understands the procedure. He understands every rule. He understands every regulation, and he's able to implement them, or was back when he was leader of the Senate, wonderfully, but at no time was he working in the best interest of his constituents or the American people. And that's just a sad thing. Congress is full of weasels. And what we're seeing right now with these 4 expulsions, I believe it's 2 Republicans and 2 Democrats that are being sent packing.
Yeah, so it's not just
nice and
one-sided.
even. No,
It's nice that we're being even
absolutely
about
not.
it.
Yeah, and there's going to be special elections all around refill these people's seats, and it's most likely the Republicans will be replaced by Republicans and the Democrats will be replaced by Democrats. Those are districts that are safe for those particular parties. But this is living proof that Congress is just slap full of weasels, and something needs to be done about it. Work Trucks is downtown 2324 3rd Avenue South. They've got a wonderful array of trucks for you, over 100 in stock at any given time. If you're looking for a truck for your business, could be a delivery van, could be a passenger van, could be half delivery, half passenger. They do that, you know. You can get box trucks of all sizes and kinds, and pickup trucks, utility bodies, you name it. They've got it for you, and you can find it all online. WorkTrucks with an X, LLC.com. WorkTrucksLLC.com. Check that out online or go downtown and visit them at 2324 3rd Avenue South, where they are all about trucks.
Desire.
You Too from Rattle and Hum, which still feels like a fairly recent album to me.
It does.
Yeah. Predates 2000. I think it predates 1990.
Wow.
Kind of lends new meaning to that Stephen Wright joke. The other day, no, wait, it was 4 years ago.
No, wait, it was 14 years
It
ago.
was 24 years ago.
Yeah, crazy.
40 years ago.
Flying.
Dixon Dividing Talk 99.5 Talk and 995.com. Mr. Bugs going to come out and give me a little spray here before long because as it's so dry outside right now, we really could use a little bit of that rain they're talking about. Maybe Saturday night, maybe
Y'all cross your fingers.
sooner rather than later would be better, but you know what? We'll take whatever we can get. But yeah, man, these bugs are trying to get inside the house. They like moisture. They want to be near where the moisture is, and that tends to be inside your home. So you got to have somebody professional come out and keep that from happening. You can't have them invading. They're not paying part of the mortgage. What are they doing? So Mr. Bugs comes by. They lay down a barrier. They kill the bugs inside. Maybe they'll give you an honest and fair reading on this. If you have not yet ever had them and you want to get an estimate, they'll tell you, yes, you should probably have us come by once every month because you're in that kind of area. Or once every 2 months or once every 3 months. They got me once every 3 months. I'm fine between that, the mosquito reduction, which they do every month. And then, of course, termite bonding, which is an every 3 to 6 month deal. They take such good care of me, and they bundle everything together for one low price. And I've never had a complaint about them, not one. I've never had to call them and have them come back. Truly amazing what work they do at Mr. Bugs. MRBUGGS.com, MrBugs.com. They know what bugs you. I cannot for the life of me figure out what is going on here. Gardendale police say a woman robbed a Regions bank, 9:03 a.m. Elderly woman shows up at the Regions Bank on Odom Road.
I'm already smiling. We haven't even gotten it. It just
Presents
don't you have an image right now? You got an image of the elderly woman.
Mm-hmm.
She's kind of hunched
kinda.
over. She's headed toward the desk with her note.
She's got a
Here she
walker.
come. A
She's
walker,
working her way
maybe.
up there.
It took her a minute to get out of her minivan.
That's right. I think she took the class trans. She actually just hopped that little van.
So you can drop me off at the bank.
Drop me off at the bank. She presents a note demanding money. Gardendale police said after she received the money, the woman immediately came to the police department and voluntarily surrendered the money. Here you are. I just took this from the bank. No injuries were reported. Everyone is safe. What the hell?
What was that? She had a moment where, why not just return it to the bank? You went straight to the police department and said, here, I just took this, and now you can have it.
Go back to the bank. I'd like to make a deposit, please. Weren't you just here?
Yeah.
This supposed to be like an example of, hey, did you notice how easy this is?
Yeah.
Her caregiver has been notified, and the situation is being handled appropriately.
Here we go. That
according to
kind of
police.
said it right there.
Caregiver kind of gives you
That's
a
your
clue.
key.
Region's corporate security team is working with police. The bank is closed for the day. It was yesterday. The lobby closed. The drive-through open.
Did the woman have a weapon?
Apparently not.
Did
aside from the walker.
She was armed with a note.
Did the woman have a note?
She had a note.
And then again, is this not another one of those situations where a little common sense comes into play?
Do you
Where
think?
maybe, the manager of the bank just kind of heads toward the door and says, ma'am,
Yeah.
you really need to turn around and give that back.
I mean,
Just-
lady, we could just push you down. You
That's
understand
what
that,
I'm
don't you?
like. The teller right there going, ma'am, no, this isn't going to work.
I'm not giving you this money. So
No,
there.
I'm not going to give it to you.
Not going to
You need
happen.
to turn around and walk away.
Yeah. I cannot imagine, unless what was going on here was that she wanted to get put in jail for some health care or something like that. I don't know. I remember a case
It's really
several
odd.
years ago
Yeah.
where a guy robbed a bank and then sat outside and waited for the police because he wanted to get away from his wife. And he was like, prison seems like a good idea.
Oh, that's desperate times right there.
I want to get sent to prison.
How about just go take a
Oh.
long vacation by yourself or something? Say,
Here's the irony. He was sentenced to home confinement. Man,
That man's going to commit suicide.
this is the
Jeez.
worst
Don't
punishment
do
you
that
could
to him.
possibly give him. But
That's
no,
awful.
there was another guy who did rob a bank because he needed some medical care, and he said there was no way that he could afford it, could get it. So if he went into the prison system, they would be forced
That is
to then take
sad.
care of him. It is.
That is so sad.
It is sad.
Yeah, I'm thinking that maybe because this woman had a caregiver, she had dementia or something. Maybe watching a little too much TV and decided to do something that would be exciting for the day.
She might have been looking for something to do. This actually took place Friday, April 10th. She was like,
Wait. You're chalking this up to boredom?
I don't know.
Could be.
I don't know. She's, again, her caregiver notified about the situation. That means she got away from the caregiver.
Got away from the caregiver, yes.
Yeah.
She managed to escape the caregiver long enough to go to the bank, give them a note.
So what do you do with this woman? I mean, is she going to get charged with robbery and go to jail, go to prison for this, or did they say this woman again? She didn't have her mental faculties. We got the money back. This is way low on the bottom shelf
she
here.
didn't just drop off the money. She gave them several Werthers that she had in her pocket as well.
Some candies
which was
and
nice.
a Kleenex.
A Kleenex, a used tissue that she kept balled up there in her sleeve.
Is a relative of Governor
Or
Kay
could
Ivey's
be.
overdoing here.
Could be. We don't know. Wow.
Yeah, just, seriously, what do you do with this? I mean, she literally had a note and robbed the bank. I mean, she committed a crime.
Do we have the exact wording of the note?
I can't imagine because I'm trying to picture.
Give me some money. I'll give you a Werther's.
Old
Well, I mean,
woman
was it that or
writing.
was it, I would like some cash?
Yeah.
I mean, was she really
Right.
polite about it?
Right. What really was she trying to take, some money out of the bank that's through her
You
account?
think she was
but
trying to withdraw?
She wrote a little note saying, I
think
need some cash.
I probably said, "Give me all."
Be
the
careful of your notes, people.
money. If you've ever seen old lady writing, I can't believe the teller could make it out. To be honest with you, it's worse than doctor writing sometimes. It's faint.
Here's the thing, y'all. Really, they gave her the money and she walked out the door.
Mm-hmm.
They literally allowed her
were
to
like,
rob the bank.
There she goes.
And how long did it take her to get from the teller window to the door?
To the right, and then from the door, how did she make it to the police department?
Right.
The class tran
Yeah.
van
Did-
guy
did the
took
class
her
trans
to the,
pick her
to
up
the
there as
police
well?
station. We need to talk with somebody at Gardendale Police Department. We need some more details
Want
about
some answers
this.
about how this came to be.
And really,
Very
what was
strange.
the age of this woman?
It's actually really hard to get away with robbing a bank in America nowadays.
Oh, I
Very
mean,
few
nearly
people are
impossible.
able to do it. Yeah.
And why people still attempt to do it is just beyond me.
With the number of cameras that are around, the ability to track the GPS, there's just so many different ways that you can capture people. And then, they've got serial numbers on bills. And it's crazy.
It's really
And Rob texts in, first thing you actually do, fire the caregiver.
That's right. You probably want to let.
Oh,
let
we're not
that
blaming the
person go.
caregiver.
Oh,
Somehow
I
she
am.
snuck out.
I
blame the teller. What are you thinking?
There's plenty of blame to go around here, Valerie.
Here's what you do: you just push her over, just set her down on the ground,
Right.
and
I was about to say, don't push her over. She might break a hip.
What?
When she gives you a note that
This
says
is-
hand over the cash, you say no.
Really? No.
What are you going to
How
do?
about this? No.
She may the note may have said, "I have a gub."
A
A
gub.
gub. Classic Woody Allen. Take the money and run.
Right.
No, I have no earthly idea how this came to be or what one would have to do in order to pull off something of this ilk. But anyway, all's well that ends
Well,
well.
again, we need more details about this story because it just sounds, it'd be like a child coming in with a note, rob a bank, and then they take the money to
She's
the police department. You're like, well, what do you do? What do you do with this? This isn't even really a real robbery, is
No,
it? I
not
mean,
really.
it is, but it isn't.
now when you give the money
You're like-
back, I'm pretty sure you're free to go. I don't know exactly how
I
that
don't
works.
know what
but
they do with her. You get a pass on this one?
put her in old
You
person
take the
prison.
dimension and head on back to your caregiver wherever you're staying.
It's like being pulled over and getting a warning instead of, instead of a full speeding
Well,
ticket.
you can't
We're not
give
really
a-
going to arrest you. We're just going to give you a warning.
can't
Don't
give-
rob a bank again.
Right. You can't give her a warning. I mean, she literally robbed the bank.
Old person prison where dinner is served at 4 p.m. and all the TVs are on Matlock all day.
Oh, that wouldn't be so bad.
Kind of heaven, actually.